Economy. Americans react to Friday's shock. What's next? And high anxiety over a life or death stunt. Why do they do it?
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. One of the more remarkable presidential nominating contests in this country's history came to an end today. As anticipated, Hillary Clinton closed out her campaign, telling a crowd of family, staff, friends, and other supporters that she wants them to join her in now supporting Barack Obama for president. She urged the crowd not to waste time looking backwards. Yet it was clear that Senator Clinton has herself been reflecting these last few days on the tide of history she spent the last year and a half trying to reverse. NBC's Ron Allen, who has covered the Clinton campaign for us these last many months, was there today as it reached the end of the road. Ron?
Good evening, Lester. It did sound a bit odd to hear Hillary Clinton endorse Barack Obama, who she fought so long and so hard to defeat. But her endorsement did sound sincere and enthusiastic. Her remarks today were at times very candid and very personal, especially when she talked about being a woman running for president, as she tried to put an exclamation point, not just a period, at the end of her campaign.
This isn't exactly the party I planned, but I sure like the company.
Several thousand people who now think of themselves as Hillary Clinton Democrats filled one of Washington's most magnificent halls.
Thank you.
At first, they wouldn't let her speak, not wanting to hear what she had to say.
The way to continue our fight now, to accomplish the goals for which we stand, is to take our energy, our passion, our strength, and do all we can to help elect Barack Obama, the next president of the United States.
Scattered boos. Gradually, she brought the crowd around.
I congratulate him on the victory he has won and the extraordinary race he has run. I endorse him and throw my full support behind him.
A bittersweet celebration after a 17-month-long battle across all 50 states through 22 debates that ended with nearly 40 million Democratic voters split almost completely down the middle. But today was about unity and what she and Obama have in common.
It is this belief, this optimism that Senator Obama and I share, and that has inspired so many millions of our supporters to make their voices heard. So today, I am standing with Senator Obama to say, yes, we can.
Clinton spoke a lot about the history she and Obama have made, especially talking about equality for women, in personal terms rarely used during the campaign.
When we first started, people everywhere asked the same questions. Could a woman really serve as commander-in-chief? Well, I think we answered that one.
Barriers and bias, often unconscious, she said, remain.
Although we weren't able to shatter that highest, hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you, it's got about 18 million cracks in it.
Obama left his Chicago home this morning for a round of golf and watched Clinton's speech later on the internet. A statement said he was thrilled and honored to have Clinton's support and praised her valiant and historic campaign.
One speech isn't going to bring millions of her supporters into the Democratic flock. It's what she does after this, but this was a good start.
And Republicans have not forgotten things Clinton has said about Obama in the past.
They remember that she suggested that there were only two candidates in the race who had the experience to be commander-in-chief, and Senator Obama was not one of them.
Clinton has vowed to do whatever Obama asks, and today she said was not a time to think about what might have been.
We have to work together for what still can be, and that is why I will work my heart out to make sure that Senator Obama is our next president.
Obama also tried to call Clinton, we understand, but she could not take his call at that moment. As you may know, the two have something of a history of playing telephone tag. On a more serious note, throughout her remarks, Clinton warned Democrats that winning would not be easy, and she reminded them that Democrats have only won the White House 3 times in the last 40 years, 2 times by a guy named Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton did say nothing about her specific plans, and then she headed home to New York. Lester?
All right, Ron Allen with us in Washington tonight. Ron, thank you. Hillary Clinton's loss is not entirely Barack Obama's gain, especially when it comes to one group that could be the key to a general election victory and that neither candidate can afford to take for granted. Let's continue now with that part of the story at NBC's Savannah Guthrie in Washington.
Lining up to see their candidate one last time, Hillary. Many Clinton voters found it hard to say goodbye.
I'm still Hillary. I'm still writing in Hillary.
As Clinton exits the presidential stage, Obama and McCain will be fighting for the female voters who overwhelmingly supported her in the primaries. Women have historically voted more often for Democrats, but may not automatically rush to Obama.
He is going to have to ask them for their support, which is something I think that he's not really done so far, and he cannot take for granted that vote.
Senator Hillary Clinton has made history in this campaign.
Both Obama and McCain now heaping praise on Clinton.
I'm proud to call her my friend.
McCain seeing an opportunity with older and working-class women angry at how the primary turned out.
The Democratic Party has thrown us women aside.
What John McCain is going to do is try to nurture that sense of grievance among some of those women voters who feel that they had their ambitions thwarted by Barack Obama.
One obvious way either candidate could attract female voters, bring a woman with him to the White House as vice president. Some Clinton supporters would love to see her on the ticket. Possible VP picks for McCain, Texas Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison, Alaska Governor Sarah Palin, eBay's former CEO Meg Whitman, or Carly Fiorina, already a campaign advisor.
We're going to reach out to women by talking with women in particular about the issues that matter to them.
Analysts say issues like the economy, health care, and education have traditionally drawn women to the Democrats, but McCain's national security credentials could appeal to some female voters.
Those same security moms who voted for George W. Bush and gave him Ohio in 2004 are precisely the target for John McCain in 2008.
We will someday launch a woman into the White House.
But until then, Clinton supporters must decide whose campaign T-shirt to purchase next.
I've got small, large, extra large.
Savannah Guthrie, NBC News, Washington.
Much more on the campaign tomorrow morning on Meet the Press with Tim Russert and NBC's team of veteran political reporters tomorrow morning at a special time, 8 Eastern. Big weather news to report tonight. The Coast Guard has stepped in to help rescue residents trapped by floodwaters in parts of Indiana. 41 counties there have been declared disaster areas after storms dropped up to 10 inches of rain. That same system has left thousands of people from Illinois to Ohio without power tonight. NBC's Mark Potter is watching it all for us.
After days of tornadoes and thunderstorms in Indiana, now comes flooding from torrential rain, with many residents forced from their homes. Some had to be rescued by boat from the rising water. Even scuba divers were brought in to help. In some areas, the water was dangerously deep.
Up to my shoulders. I'm 6'1", so it's probably 5 foot.
Many homeowners are now calculating all they have lost.
Took everything out of our bedroom. And then he got it done. And then it's a little bit later than he got in the main house. And you know, you lived somewhere for 20 years.
At Johnson Memorial Hospital, healthcare workers had to push water out of the emergency room.
And it's a very, very dangerous situation. We've seen entire roadways just absolutely collapsed.
At Prince's Lake, south of Indianapolis, rising water took out the only road into town and threatened the earthen dam, already flooding farmland and neighborhoods below, with residents there fearing much worse. The heavy rain was caused by a collision of weather systems from the north and south.
There's cold air coming down from Canada, meeting a huge plume of warm, moist Gulf air, and that's situated over the midsection of the country.
Rain in the Midwest is expected to fall through the weekend, with at least 3 to 6 more inches on top of the 10 that have already fallen.
Don't fall right on that house.
In Ohio, storms there knocked down trees and wires, cutting power to 40,000 homes. Outages were also reported in Michigan and Illinois. Meanwhile, on the East Coast, a high-pressure pattern is causing extreme heat and humidity, with temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above normal and residents trying to cope. Swimming pools in Alexandria, Virginia are full.
It's a scorcher.
The high temperatures are expected into next week, with hardly any rain here. Mark Potter, NBC News.
We turn now to the economy and the fallout from yesterday's perfect storm of bad news. A jump in unemployment and a surge in oil prices sent the stock market plummeting. Now many are wondering what's next. Here's NBC's Jim Foreman.
Americans woke up this morning somewhat shell-shocked and a bit bewildered by Friday's bad economic turn of events. The job losses, the largest single one-day jump in the price of oil, and the stock market's nearly 400-point plunge.
I do have some opportunities.
A day after the trifecta of lousy economic news, hundreds of people looking for work turned out at this Los Angeles job fair.
At $5 almost a gallon, and it's still rising, you know. That's like, am I going to take a second job to pay for the job that I'm trying to work for?
But Americans are finding it harder to keep the job they have. Nearly 50,000 lost theirs last month, the largest one-month jump in the unemployment rate since the mid-'80s.
The bad news is that we're probably going to see an unemployment rate rising right through the end of 2008 and into 2009.
And while this job fair proves some businesses are hiring, landing those jobs is now much tougher.
When you're one of 200 applying for the same job, it's hard.
Some experts say yesterday wiped out any hope the nation could avoid a recession. So what should consumers do?
At this point, you have to shift your gear. Say we're in a recession. The concern now becomes how long will this recession go on? How deep will it be?
Analysts say it is now only a matter of time before oil hits $150 a barrel. Here at the pumps, that translates into $5 gas. It's already $4.99 per gallon at this station in Arcadia, California. Drivers feel beaten up and just aren't sure how much more they can take.
I need money for groceries and stuff, so I only fill it up as much as I can. I filled it up to $13, and I need $7 for, you know, a few other things that I need.
And she's not alone in what is shaping up to be the summer of tough choices. Jim Foreman, NBC News, Los Angeles.
When Nightly News continues this Saturday night, the effect of all this on your summer travel plans. New trouble in the air for airline passengers and the airlines. But first, up next, Big Brown goes for the Triple Crown. Our report from Belmont coming up. And remembering legendary broadcaster Jim McKay when we come back.
Joining you in the studio.
Hey, check it out.
What is it?
It's a cereal aisle.
Everything on this side is made with whole grain.
Not every cereal is made with whole grain. But every General Mills Big G cereal is. Guaranteed. And it's there on every box.
Lucky Charms.
Honey Nut Cheerio.
Get your whole grain guarantee with General Mills.
It's making me hungry.
It's not that unusual when everything is beautiful. It's just another ordinary miracle today.
Life is better when things work in harmony. That's why at CVS Pharmacy, we do a comprehensive check of your prescriptions to make sure they work together. And they're ready when you need them. CVS Pharmacy, for all the ways you care.
I didn't believe her.
I told her it's a different kind of laxative.
I still didn't believe her.
No constipation, no harsh side effects. Even your doctor recommends it.
Now I believe her.
Restore your body's natural rhythm with Miralax.
You're past menopause and treating osteoporosis. Why not ask your doctor about Evista, the only medicine that treats osteoporosis and reduces your risk of invasive breast cancer? Evista does not treat breast cancer, prevent its return, or reduce the risk of all forms of breast cancer. Your doctor can explain all your risk factors for breast cancer, which include advancing age, family history, and personal history. If your osteoporosis treatment can also reduce your risk of invasive breast cancer, raise your hand. Thought not. Evista increases the risk of blood clots and should not be used by women who have or have had blood clots in the legs, lungs, or eyes. Evista may increase the risk of dying from stroke in women at high risk for heart disease or stroke. Seek care immediately if you have leg pain or warmth, swelling of the legs, hands, or feet, chest pain, shortness of breath, or a sudden vision change. Do not use Evista if you're pregnant, nursing, or may become pregnant, as it may cause fetal harm. Women with liver or kidney disease should use Evista with caution. Evista should not be taken with estrogens. Side effects may include hot flashes, leg cramps, and swelling. If you want to treat osteoporosis and reduce your risk of invasive breast cancer, ask your doctor about Evista. one medicine that does both.
A huge upset just moments ago in the Belmont Stakes, the final leg of horse racing's Triple Crown. Big Brown was the heavy favorite after huge wins in the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. NBC's Michelle Franzen joins us now from the track. Michelle, what happened today?
Well, Lester, that is a very good question. Big Brown was poised to become the first horse in 30 years to win the Triple Crown. For all intents and purposes, he was scheduled to win that today, only surrounded by long shots. In the end, a long shot beat him as well as every other horse. We're hearing now that Big Brown finished last in that race today. Unknown De Toro beat him today. Coming in, his odds 38-1. Now, of course, Big Brown was racing towards history. First of all, winning the Kentucky Derby early in May, then 3 weeks later, the Preakness. This 3-year-old colt was undefeated until today. We could say that possibly heat may have played a factor. Big Brown also nursing an injury on his hoof, but doctors had patched that up in the days leading up to this race. We'll have to wait to see what his trainer as well as jockey Kent DeSormo has to say in the coming hours. Lester?
All right, Michelle Franzen, thank you. The big Triple Crown race took on a special poignance today as it was horse racing that was Jim McKay's favorite sport. McKay died today at age 86. The legendary sportscaster rose to fame with the words, "The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat." But he was best known for his dignified coverage of the worst day in Olympic history. NBC's Bob Costas remembers his friend tonight.
Jim had the full array of broadcasting skills, warm and distinctive voice. He was a very good writer. There was a literate touch to the work he did. He had a long track record of work, so that gave him the experience that informed his work.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Well, it was the wide world of sports. Most Americans wouldn't care about someone jumping barrels on skates in Finland or Norway. Most of what Wide World of Sports showed us were niche sports. So why should we care? Because McKay would make you care. He always seemed to have the right personal touch to go with the professional skill. You have to remember that in 1972, there's no 24-hour cable news, there's no internet. Jim McKay is the only source of immediate information that any of us in the United States have. Jim reported with great skill from Munich. But I think what people will remember most was his genuine humanity in that moment.
They're all gone.
I think the primary reason people have such fondness for Jim McKay, it's because he was their companion. They trusted him, they respected him, and they felt a palpable sense of decency coming from him. People will say, what's so-and-so really like? Well, Jim McKay was exactly what you would hope for and maybe more.
NBC's Bob Costas remembering Jim McKay. When we come back, big trouble for the nation's big airlines and for lots of small towns that depend on them.
In my work, I depend on my eyes to capture the natural wonder of this planet. That's why I wear Transitions lenses. They adjust to changing light to reduce eye strain and fatigue and help protect my eyes from UV damage like sunblock protects my skin. You can replace a camera, but you only have one pair of eyes.
Ask your eye care professional about the enhanced performance of new Transitions lenses. Transitions, healthy sight in every light.
Ever wonder how Cheez-It packs so much real cheese in such small bites? Well, now you know. Cheez-It, the big cheese.
Back pain? You don't have to just rely on pain relievers. Now you can take 2 of these. Dr. Scholl's Pain Relief Orthotics with Shock Guard. They're clinically proven and absorb jarring shock with every step you take. Take Dr. Scholl's for back pain or knee pain.
I learned a lot when I found out I had high cholesterol, but I didn't know that it may have led to my erectile dysfunction. That's why my doctor told me about Levitra.
Certain medical conditions, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol, can decrease blood flow, which may lead to ED.
That was news to me. My doctor told me Levitra could help.
Levitra works by increasing blood flow to help treat ED.
Levitra works for me. Maybe it can work for you.
Ask your doctor if you are healthy enough for sexual activity. If you have heart problems, are on alpha blocker therapy, or have uncontrolled high blood pressure, talk to your doctor before taking Levitra. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss of vision or hearing, stop taking Levitra and call your doctor right away. Ask your doctor if Levitra is right for you.
When it comes to treating frequent heartburn, Prilosec OTC is the only name I trust. My doctor recommends it, so I just know I can count on it for my heartburn, and I won't miss out on life. Try Prilosec OTC, the round-the-clock heartburn blocker.
The high fuel costs that are threatening the American economy have perhaps hit the airline industry hardest of all. In recent days, major carriers have cut jobs and cut back service. As NBC's Tom Costello reports, $138 oil was not in anybody's business plan.
Thank you, Jasper.
Remember the good old days? In the summer of 2001, we were talking about how cheap it was to fly.
Many analysts believe this is only the beginning of fare wars that can save on this summer's travel.
But the world has since changed dramatically, with airlines struggling to survive. A barrel of oil going from $23 a barrel then to $138 today. The airlines call it an industry killer.
This is far more serious than the impact of 9/11. It is a continuing set of blows as opposed to one very serious blow.
While crude oil is trading at record levels, a barrel of jet fuel is even more expensive. This past week, going for more than $160 a barrel, up 90% in 1 year. Fueling passenger planes has become a losing proposition.
This is fundamental and economic. Airplanes are all obsolete today at these fuel prices, so they have to pull back, fly less, thin out their routes, and only carry those passengers who can pay them a fare that will give them a profit at the bottom line.
And airfares are climbing. BestFares.com calculates nonstop on United from San Francisco to Detroit, up 100% in 1 year. Dallas to Charlotte on American, up 204%. And New York to Charleston on U.S. Airways, up 338%. But already this year, 5 airlines have declared bankruptcy, with predictions more could soon follow. Some analysts believe the big traditional airlines that own their own planes may have the advantage, because parking those planes in the desert doesn't cost them anything. But airlines that lease their planes and must make payments may be at a disadvantage. Now, with most of the nation's carriers laying off employees and grounding planes, 100 smaller communities are expected to lose all commercial air service by the end of the year, including Hot Springs, Arkansas, Greenbrier, West Virginia, Youngstown, Ohio, and Prescott, Arizona. And the price of oil keeps climbing. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
Up next, a picture of the week that left a lot of New Yorkers holding their breath. What were they thinking?
Meet me, Meg. I've got osteoporosis, but I'm an on-the-go kind of woman. So when my doctor told me about Reclast, the once-a-year IV osteoporosis treatment that can help protect me while I'm on the go for an entire year, it had Meg written all over it. My doctor said once-a-year Reclast can help re-strengthen my bones to help make them resistant to fracture for 12 months. The thing about Reclast is no other osteoporosis treatment is approved to help protect from fracture in more places. Hip, spine, even other bones.
You should not take Reclast if you're on Zometa, have low blood calcium, kidney problems, or you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or nursing. Take calcium and vitamin D daily. Tell your doctor if you develop severe muscle, bone, or joint pain, or if you have dental problems, as rarely jaw problems have been reported. The most common side effects include flu-like symptoms, fever, muscle or joint pain, and headache.
Ask your doctor about Reclast, year-long protection for on-the-go women.
Ever wonder how Cheez-It packs so much real cheese in such small bites? Well, now you know. Cheez-It, the big cheese.
One moment we are feeling spontaneous.
Surprise, I'm home.
The next, we are happily interrupted. Hey, there's no problem for guys like me with ED. There's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. No other ED tablet can do both. Sure, Cialis can work fast, but having up to 36 hours is a great option. And working only when it should means I can respond to Deb only when we're ready. Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away. Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because when the moment is right, you can be ready.
Sunday, he's won and she's out. But will Hillary be back on the ticket? Our Decision 2008 Roundtable on Meet the Press at a special time, 8 a.m. Eastern.
The mortgage crisis. NBC Nightly News, Monday.
It is known as buildering, climbers scaling the sides of buildings to get their thrills. New York City was the scene of 2 such stunts this past week, both at the 52-story headquarters of the New York Times. The climbers didn't use ropes or nets or any kind of safety device, and they left one very big question hanging. Why? NBC's Mike Taibbi reports.
For a while on Thursday, it was the ultimate, are you watching this? Can you believe it? These guys are nuts New York story. 2 self-styled daredevils unconnected to each other, but whose shared dare of choice was that each could scale the same Manhattan skyscraper and live to tell the tale. If you were near a TV and were watching, you couldn't turn away. And TV wouldn't let you.
Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast for you.
Even the weather report shown in split screen so viewers wouldn't miss a second of the live coverage of the second climber's ascent. His name, Ronaldo Clark, the copycat from Brooklyn.
We were all at the windows, waving to this guy, clapping, urging him on.
His motive, to trump the morning glory of the better-known French climber, Alain Robert, who in the past had scaled some of the world's tallest structures as a way of, well, like Clark, getting attention.
This is my own way to show to the people that, sometimes it's good not to follow all the rules because you're also missing all the fun.
From King Kong to Spider-Man, skyscrapers have starred in a number of special effects movie spectaculars, and in 1974, The Real Thing. Frenchman Philippe Petit walking and dancing between the 2 towers of the World Trade Center 8 times on a cable he secured with the help of a crossbow, the gold standard for such stunts, and the context for these. For any Spider-Man, King Kong, or Philippe Petit wannabes today, the skyscraper home of the New York Times is a most inviting target of opportunity. But after Thursday, more security for the building and criticism of the climbers, including from New York Mayor Mike Bloomberg.
You could fall and kill somebody, and it's just not acceptable.
Still, the building and the stunts have some onlookers thinking.
Not that I would do it, but I wonder if I could.
Well, it makes sense. You make a ladder, somebody's going to climb it.
And while each daredevil laid claim to a message, Clark about the scourge of malaria, Robert about global warming, it was really about seeking attention, period.
It's just nuts.
In fact, when Clark was arrested, he answered a reporter's shouted question, why, this way. I'm going to be on the news, no? Well, yeah. Mike Taibbi, NBC News, New York.
That's NBC Nightly News for this Saturday. I'm Lester Holt reporting from New York. I'll see you tomorrow morning on Today, then right back here tomorrow evening. Good night.
NBC News, America's news leader.
A mom convicted for murdering her own daughter. But can this cop prove she's innocent? All new Dateline, Sunday, 9/8 Central on NBC.
No ropes, no harness, and 52 stories straight up. What was he thinking? Monday on Today on NBC.
Tomorrow morning, can Rafael Nadal capture an historic 4th straight French Open title? In his way, Roger Federer. The French Open live from Paris, tomorrow 9 a.m. on NBC.
At Griffith Motors, we've taken the hassle out of buying a new Honda with Build Your Honda, Name Your Price. Just log on to griffithmotors.com, then build your own Honda, car, truck, or SUV. You pick the model, color, and features you want, then name your price. It's that easy. You get the Honda you want at the price you want, and you do it all from the comfort of your own home. That's why more and more people from Portland are choosing Build Your Honda, Name Your Price at GriffithMotors.com. Griffith Motors, just off I-84 in the Dalles. Call 1-800-REBATH today to rebath your tub or shower.
Now at 6:30, for the first time in more than a decade, a homicide in Troutdale. What police are saying after spending 20